Hi, educators. I hope you all are sounding good. So we have people joining us from Greece, India, Sudan, Indonesia, Egypt. So hi, everyone. Mr. Dakshin, no, you do not have to fill the pre-survey form every day. If you have filled it once, then it's good to go. You do not have to fill it again. But today is the last day to fill the pre-survey form because it's one of the prerequisites to get your participation certificate. So if anybody who hasn't filled it, make sure to fill the pre-survey form right now. As always, make sure to drop in your name and the country name from which you are tuning from. So just like I'm Vivek and I'm tuning in from India. We will be starting up our session in just some time. Let everybody join in. Hello, Mr. Dave. Good evening, Miss Sonam. Good evening, Miss Sangita, Miss Ruchi. So I think it's the right time to begin with our session 4 of the International Teacher Training Program on Python with PictoBlox. In this particular session, we're going to take a look at data handling and what exactly it is, how to handle a particular set of data that we are either gathering from the user or we have that data already stored in our computer. So that is what we are going to take a look at. And also we are going to understand what are strings and what are the functions of strings. So basically we are going to tweak around string manipulation. So that is something that we are going to do in this particular session. And again, as always, we are going to have two activities. One will be setting up the base, and the second one will be more fun and engaging one that you can implement in your classrooms, as always. All right. So moving on, this particular session, as I mentioned, is diving into data handling, it's diving into string manipulation, it's diving into the world of AI as well, because we are going to use and create one of the application in PictoBlox, which is AI Doodle Pad. So that is something that we're going to do in this particular session. All right. As mentioned, we're going to talk about data handling. We're going to talk about how exactly string manipulation works, what are strings, what are its requirements. But before that, I'll be quickly diving into some of like one quick example of whatever we have learned so far combined together. So for that, we are going to take a look at a real world scenario in which I have prepared a quick game, which is of lottery. So it's a lottery game. Same way, I recommend you also to create such games that you can showcase to your students and they can also try it out themselves in the classroom. Let me quickly open PictoBlox application. All right. So this is the Python environment, if you haven't already seen it. And this is our lottery game. So a quick explanation of the same, like a quick walkthrough. I'm not going to do the entire activity in front of you. I'm just giving you a walkthrough of what exactly we have done in this particular activity. Starting off from the first line, it says import random. And I am asking this first question to you. What this import random will help us to achieve in any code that we are adding it, or in any code that we are importing the random class. What this import random help us to achieve? I am also very excited, Miss Paula. I am as well. And I have to say, we loved yesterday's session. We loved the way that you all interacted yesterday. So let's keep up the momentum. Let's keep up the hype and let's keep up the spirits. And you can pass on such beautiful comments in the live chat box. It's a library for random numbers. Okay. Bring in random library. Okay. Generate pseudo random numbers. Okay. Create random numbers. Right. Exactly. You all are correct. So it's a type of a class which helps us to import some random numbers or some random values. So that is something that we are going to take a look at in this particular activity. This is something that we have used in this activity so far. Then what we have done is we have defined a function which is generate lottery numbers. As I always say, in the yesterday session, we also talked about that functions, whenever you are defining them, make sure that you name those functions very accurately so that whenever you are calling them, they make sense. And whenever somebody is watching your YouTube videos that you're going to create, or somebody is going to watch your lessons that you're going to post, make sure that it's easily readable, it's easily understandable by the user, whoever that user will be, whoever, whatever the age category will be. That should be um, you know, basically it should be easily readable, easily understandable to any user. So therefore, make sure to name your functions in an accurate way. So define generate lottery numbers, in which we are going to generate a lottery number. So we have called a variable, named it numbers, and we have called a random sample function in range of 1 to 50, and we are asking it to pick 6 numbers from 1 to 50. That is what we are doing. And then return those 6 numbers. So what we are doing? So whenever you see a lottery chit, you see few numbers. So it's like 34, 56, 78, 23, 55, 3. So let's say these are your lottery numbers. Then this is what this particular function will do. It's going to return few numbers to you all. Once you get those numbers, what do we want to do? We want to check the match. First, we want the computer to pick a random number from the list or from the 6 range that we have called over here. And then we want the user to choose one number and see whether the user won the lottery or not. Very simple yet very interesting game. So now what we have done, we have defined another function to check the match. That means check the number which the user have input. So we have called one variable, or we have passed one parameter, arguments, whatever keyword that you want to use for this particular thing. That is user numbers and lottery numbers, because we need two of these things, right? We need the user input and we need the lottery numbers that the computer has chosen. Then return the length. This is len is for length. Set user numbers and set lottery numbers. Now you will see this particular thing in action, but I want you to give me your guess what this particular line of code will do in the comments box. By the time I will be moving ahead, but you have to tell me what this particular box or what this particular line of code will do. After this, we are taking the user input in integers specifically, and then we are calling the generate lottery numbers in lottery numbers variable. All right. After that, we are printing the lottery numbers in different separate lines, then matching the lottery numbers. For that, we are calling the check match function that we defined and passing on our two parameters, which was user numbers and lottery numbers. After that, if we have the match, if it is matched, then it will say congratulations. If it is not matched, it will say sorry, try again. But Vivek, why we are asking if the matching number is more than 0, then congratulate? What does this mean? This line number 18 is relate to line number 9 over here. And that is why I mentioned you have to explain why. Random choosing the... Okay, I think I'm losing the chat here. Let me quickly refresh. Get the number of numbers, get the number of numbers as well as placing them in a set where they are no duplicate. Okay. Two numbers separated by a comma, each number length of each number, the length of respective array, right? Whether both have same count of characters. Okay. Return the number of items. Okay. Fine. Any other guesses? Give us a quick sequence of numbers that are going to be checked with lottery numbers. Exactly. Right. You all make sense over here. I think that is something that you have understood what this line number 9 is doing. After this, what we are doing is we are putting it up to length function. So if that particular number is matched to the lottery numbers, then the length will be increased. If not, the length will be 0. Basically, what we are doing is we are creating a Boolean form over here. If the length increases, if the length is more than 0, let's say 1, then it's true. If it's 0, it's false. So that is something that we have implemented. So yeah, now let's quickly run this code and let's see it in working. We have also added this for in range over here just to get those 6 numbers. All right, let's quickly run this. Enter your lottery numbers. Okay, let's say 26, 56, 89, 90, 12, 23. So lottery numbers that was chosen by the computer are these, and I matched one of that number. So it's returning the length and it's returning how many numbers I have matched via the lottery numbers, which were predicted or which were picked up by my computer. So if I quickly run it again, you will be able to see this in action once more. So it's going to ask me 6 numbers to input. Or let's say if I have a lottery chit, what you can do is you can create lottery chits in your classroom, pass it on to kids. Let's say you pick out 10 kids, pass those 10 lottery chits to those kids and ask them to and ask them to put that lottery number right over here. So 23, 12, 34, 67, 9, 10. So no matches. Try again, because my numbers that I've entered through my lottery chit is not matching the lottery numbers that were picked up by the computer. So this is a quick game that you can also create in your classroom. And also with such an example, this was just an example, as I mentioned, with such an example, you can also create the game of Tambola. So Tambola is basically you call out a number and then students will be checking it off from their chit or from their page or paper that they have. So that is something that you can create over here as well. Just need to add a counter variable. You need to make sure that Toby is speaking those numbers, not printing, speaking, using the say. And if you also implement another extension by which the Toby can speak as well, then you have done it. You have created your own digital tambola. And I'm requesting you, any one of you, to make sure to create this and share it in the WhatsApp group or Telegram. All right. So I think that's a quick gist of real world scenarios, how to implement Python in it. And then let's move on to the next one, which is strings and string operators. Now, Vivek, you will never win the lottery numbers if only goes to 50. I'm so sorry, Miss Marina. I actually forgot. I thought I've added till 90. That is why I added more than 50. All right. Now let's talk about strings and string operations. Now, can anybody tell me what exactly strings are in your own language? I don't want like professional language. What do you think strings are in your own language, maybe in one word or two words? Just define it. What do you think it is in the live chat box? Does your program check if the player picks the same number twice by mistake? You can do that as well. As I mentioned, there are multiple ways of uh, creating or programming a code or writing a code, because as I mentioned, how many are there right now? There are 120 people who are watching us live. So there will be 120 ways of writing this code in different types or in different ways. It's a series of characters. String is a collection of letters, data type to store words. Collection of characters is called string. Okay, right. Mutable data type used to store alphanumeric data. That's very nice. Okay. Series of characters, collection of characters, thread, great word, characters, right. Indeed. So it's basically whatever you have mentioned, like chat box, and whatever I have recalled, it's correct. It's a series of characters, it's letters joined together. It can be words, it can be, you can call it as words, you can call it as threads. So it's basically anything or everything that's in double quotes. That's it. Right. So there are few string operations that we're going to take a look at. Again, with the help of an example, because we have two big activities to do. So I directly will be moving to the examples only. Let me quickly share my PictoBlox screen once again. Open a new file. If you want, you can save this program as well. These programs that I'm picking up are there in your LMS course, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, there you go. So now what I'm doing, let's take a look at the first string operation, which is concatenation. It's basically joining two strings together. Let's say if I have these two boxes right over here, one of these boxes, box number 1 of Corky Ultimate Kit, and this is box number 2 of Corky Ultimate Kit. Joining together, I get one Corky Ultimate Kit, right? So it's basically what string operation concatenation is. Joining joining two or more than two strings together. So this over here, what I have done is I have added one variable, named it as greeting, and The value is hello. And then name variable, which contains the name, which is Alice, and message is greeting plus name. And whenever I'm going to print it, it's going to print hello Alice. So this is concatenation. This addition sign is used to concatenate two strings together. I hope you get that. All right. Then there is repetition. Repetition is basically how many times you wanted to repeat something. So this is something that you can do that as well. So just multiply that particular string that you wanted to repeat with the number of times you wanted to repeat. So right over here, I have an exciting message which says yay, and then I have multiplied it by 3. So my output will look like 3 times yay. It's cheering up, right? Then we have slicing. Slicing is basically, let's say if I want to slice out something in between or out, like the starting point, from the starting point or from the ending point or from in between the text or in between the string, I can do that with this. So over here we have this text in which I have stored the Python programming, and I'm going to slice out some of its characters over here. So what I'm doing is, this is this particular function, which is 0 to 6. Now, again, a quick question to all of you. What is this 0 and 6? This is something which we have already covered in list and tuples, and we also covered this yesterday as well. Now I want quick answers, everybody. What is this 0 and 6 denotes? Index number. Exactly. Exactly. These are index numbers. So if I say so, let me write down in a comment, Python. So the index number will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 0 is from where you want it to start and from where, at which point you want it to stop. So it's basically going to be -1, if you remember, right? From the for loop also, it was -1. So this is basically going to run till 5, which is it's going to just slice out Python, and then it's printing the value which is sliced out, which is Python. Then 7 onwards, this blank or no number over here denotes everything that's after index 7 is going to be sliced out. So everything which is after index 7 is programming. And make sure, just one more thing, this was just for example. This was just for an example. If you know how index number works, it's going to work like this. Spaces are also counted in your index number. Yes, spaces are also counted in your index number. So that is why it was going up, and this was the 7th index. All right, so make sure that you understand this as well, that spaces are also counted in your index. After this, we have this one, which states from the beginning till the 6th, which is going to print the word Python. So this is a quick slicing method that you can use to slice through your strings. Then there is uppercase, lowercase, which is very easy. We are going to use lowercase in one of our activities today. So uppercase and lowercase is something that you can use to uppercase a particular string or lowercase a particular string. An example is right over here in front of your screen. Then we have count. It's going to help you count a particular phrase in a string or count the entire string as well. That's only up to you. What do you want to count out? Or it's going to also count a particular phrase. Let's say right over here, as I mentioned, it's going to count a phrase, and I've mentioned the phrase as hello. So it's going to count how many times I've typed hello in my string, and the output is coming out to be 2. Then we have find, which is used to find a particular phase or a particular word in my string. So it's going to find out where is located in my string. And the output says 7 because it's located at the 7th index of my string over here. Then it is replaced. So if I want to, I can completely replace a particular phrase from the string. So right over here, the output will look like Java. First of all, I have to use the replace function. I have to tell the computer which value I want to replace and from which value I want it to replace. So it's going to be I love Java instead of I love Python. But trust me, I love Python more. Then we have the split function, which is going to split apart your string in a sorted way. So the output will look like this. So yeah. Then there is strip. Strip is basically to strip down your entire sentence. So it's going to cut out the access and it's going to just print welcome to Python, not the spaces and all. Like, I mean, extra spaces and all. Then you have the last but not the least join. And again, it's going to join down the items. So it's basically we have created. So can I ask you something? Is this list tuple what exactly this data type is? This line number 45. What is this line number 45? Me too. I love Python more. Exactly. It's a list, right? True. You can also call it an array. You can also call it a list because list can have types of data in a particular form, but over here it has just one type of data. So I would go forward with calling it an array rather than a list because I think list, though you can call it a list as well, but we can also call it an array. We can also say array of strings. Yeah, you can say that as well. Exactly. All right, now let's quickly run this code and let's see it in working. All right, so here are all these string operations working up. So whenever we are teaching string operations in a classroom or whenever we are teaching string operations to a group of students, it's a little difficult to maintain up that hype because I personally feel like such operation or arithmetic operations, these operators, these manipulation, string manipulation and all functions, these are a little too boring. I can understand, but there is a way that you can make these interesting. And how to do that? By implementing these string functions and string operations in a form of very engaging activity. So that is something that you need to figure out what type of students you are teaching, what is their level of learning, how they're going to learn. So because if I say, so if I'm going in a government school, I need to be a little more layman's language. I need to explain them right like I am talking to a friend in a very free form. And if I'm going to, let's say, any other school, I can use, or if I'm teaching any higher grade students, I can use a little professional language. So that is why right over here, I haven't explained strings in a very unique or fun way because I felt like we have to keep it very straight and forward. So yeah, I hope you all are awake. All right, let's move on to the next part then, which is going to be very interesting. And I have already seen this activity in the WhatsApp group. And I felt like, how can you be so fast? I was about to text that teacher that, ma'am, it's okay. It's really good. It's one of the amazing activities that is out there for Python. But we are going to already build it in the classroom in our sessions. So yeah, the activity is rock, paper, scissors game, which is something that everybody loves. Till this date, it is something that I also play with my siblings whenever we want to take chance to play or watch our favorite movie. and we are like rock, paper, scissors, who's going to win is going to watch that particular movie. So that is something that we still do. And I also believe some of you also do this. So today, that is something that we're going to build rock, paper, scissors game with computer, and we're going to play it and we're going to enjoy it a lot. So without further ado, let's hop on to PictoBlox and let's start up with our activity. Let me quickly create a new project. Now, as I mentioned, and I always say this in every session, there are multiple ways to create one type of program. There are n number of ways to do that. So let's say right over here, I'm going to create a very basic rock, paper, scissors game. But if you want, you can include hand gestures. Hand gestures like this is rock, this is paper, this is scissor. So this is something that you can also include in PictoBlox as well. But how to do that? You have to figure it out. But I'm going to give you two activities. I'm going to show you two activities. If you combine the knowledge of both, you can create wonders. Right. So let's quickly start it up. Always fun to build and play. Exactly. Always fun to build and play. All right. So rock, paper, scissors games is something which I believe is very old, yet very popular. It hasn't, loosen its charisma. So it's still popular among students. It's still popular among youth, even old age adults as well. So now, first thing first, we're going to create an array of choices in which we are going to pick or drop down the choices. So there will be three choices only, which will be rock, paper, and scissor. So these are my three choices from which I will be moving forward. After putting down the choices, I need to take the user's input. User's input will be transformed into lowercase so that there is no discrepancies while we are executing this particular code. All right. So there's one more catch. Whenever we are taking a user input, we have to pass it through few block of conditions. Number one will be, is that particular choice is from the choices that we have mentioned? Is it from rock, paper, scissors, or if the person has added some other name, water bottle, corky, STEMpedia? So have they added some other name or other choice in this particular section? And if yes, then we have to tell them that it's an invalid choice. You have to pick and choose from rock, paper, and scissors. After this, after getting the user's value, after getting and checking the user's value if it is valid or not, we will tell the computer that computer, it's your turn to pick one out of the three. After computer is done picking one out of the three, we're going to print those two values. One will be ours and the other will be of computers. After this, result will be printed. And for the results, again, we need a set of if condition statements, which is if our choice and computer's choice is same, then it's going to be a tie. If my choice and computer's choice is going to be different, then it's going to check which particular type or choice the computer and the user has chosen. And then it will say you win or computer win. Pretty easy, right? So whenever I'm talking about such programs, what I used to do in classrooms is whenever I'm teaching Python or whenever I'm teaching such programming languages in a classroom or to a group of students, I always either take a pen or paper and explain with the help of dry run, which I've done it verbally right now in front of you. Or if I'm in a class, I will be making sure that I'm using a smart board or chalkboard or white pen marker, whatever board that you're using, whiteboard, to explain that dry run. Because explaining that dry run will help students to feel motivated. They will feel a little like, yeah, I know what's the path, but I just need to walk towards it. I know what is to be achieved through my code. I just need to start putting it together. Same way, whenever you are trying to code, Try your best not to copy paste or take AI's help, because I know AI can do anything, which is something that we really know. But try it yourself first. And then, if you're not able to achieve after multiple tries, then you can take or seek help. So yeah, so same way, dry run also keeps everything very low key. Dry run also helps you to understand whatever the project you're going to build down, and then you can start with the program. So as I mentioned, we have given the three choices, and now we are going to get the user input, but it's all going to be in while true. Now I want you to tell me why it's going to be in while true in the comments, because I want to know why and what's the reason behind putting it, the entire thing in while loop. So here, what I've done is I have added or I've called a variable, and I'm taking an input in the new line to enter your choice, rock, paper, or scissors. I'm using the lower function to lower down the value. So let's say if any user is going to enter paper, so the value will be like paper. No matter what, the value is like this, it's still going to be like stored like this. So like if it is a mixed order of smaller or capital, sorry, smaller or capital words, it's still going to be mixed together and then again going to be transferred to lowercase. All right, I'm looking down for answers now. Because we have more than choice. Okay. More than one choice. Okay. Any other answer? Anybody? Why we are using while true over here? I'm looking down for answers. Repetition. Exactly, Miss Pola. It's repetition. Play continuously. Exactly. Keep playing it until the player decides not to. Creates a forever loop. So you can keep playing, asking endlessly to keep the loop running until user satisfies or break the condition. Exactly. I have to say you all are top-notch educators because you know what exactly we are doing over here. All right. After taking the user input, what we were supposed to check? We were supposed to check whether that user input is in our choices or not. So just going to write down if user choice it's going to be not in choices. If it is not in choices, then what we have to do? Just simply print invalid input. You can add more if you want to in this particular sentence, like please enter a valid choice. Simple. All right. After this, what we are going to do, we're just going to give a continue over here. Now, this continue is a keyword by which my computer will understand if the user has entered the right choice, then let's continue ahead. It's going to give it a pass. Then, hey, it's good to go, move ahead. All right. Now, again, indentation plays a very important role. It's very vital for you all to understand that yes, without correct indentation, your code will always throw an error. So make sure that indentation is correct and the naming of your keywords or your variables are correct. Then we have to get the computer's choice. So let's say C choice, which is for computer choice, is equals to now. I want to ask you something. What is the way that I can make computer pick random choices which is there in this choices variable? Now, what's the correct way to do that? All right, but by the time you're answering this, I'm going to quickly answer the question which is there in the chat box, why you put it in lower. So the lower function is going to help us out a long way. So let's say if somebody types ROCK in capital, but in the choices variable, ROCK is in small. So what will happen? It will affect my code because the computer will be like, these two are different values. When these two are different values, that means it's either going to be the computer winning or it's either going to be the player winning who's playing the game. Random library, exactly. Random library, importing random module. So at the beginning, just import random. Now there's one more thing that I want you to understand. Whenever you are writing a code, there is a very clean way to write it. I always focus on nice, neat, clean code. And a lot of students also, when I'm telling them that, hey, your code should be clean, they're like, sir, we are typing it down. It's already clean. I'm not using my handwriting that you can't understand. We are not using that. It's very neat and clean already. But neat and clean code means if you want to look at my code, the way that I go, we are right over here. I can import random class here on line number 13 as well. But what I did, I went up and imported it up. Whenever I'm creating a function, I'm not creating it anywhere in the middle of the code. I'm creating it at the top. That is how you write neat code. When I was in school, when I was in 10th standard, my teacher used to tell us that, Vivek, neat code will help you out to understand what are your errors, will help you to debug the code. So therefore, I also force all of you to force your students and yourself to write down neat code. So if you're going to import a class, if you're going to import extensions, if you're going to add on some more parts defining functions, top part is what you have to use for the same, and the bottom part can be for the rest of the code. So yeah, that is what that you have to do. And I'm loving that some of you are showing and passing on your videos in the WhatsApp group, and I see all of them. And whenever I see your code, I see some really nice, beautifully added comments. So it helps me also, like, yeah, now I can understand this code, that this is what this particular line of code is doing. Same way, if you check out the LMS, I have added comments everywhere in the code so that it helps you to understand where exactly or what exactly that particular thing is doing. Okay. All right. So now after this, computer choice, we are going to pick the random choice. So random choice is going to be random dot. It's going to be choice from choices. Random choice from. Don't get confused over here. It's just random particular class has this choice function. So that is what I'm calling over here. After this, the computer has its choice stored over here. Let's name it not compute. Let's name it computer choice only so that we don't get confused. Computer choice. All right. Now, after getting and after making sure the computer has picked a choice, we're going to print both of the choices right over here. So we're printing your choice is user's choice over here, which user will be entering. Computer choice equals to computer choice right over here. After this, what do I want to do? I want to check. First thing I want to check for tie is user choice double equals to computer's choice. What is this going to check? Is going to check either is going to be tie. Let's say if computer says rock, I say rock, it's a tie. If the computer says scissor, I say scissor, it's a tie. So that is something that we have to look out over here. So if it is similar, then I want it to print tie. Simple as that. After this, I will be adding elif situations or elif conditions. Now what I'm doing, I am adding three particular conditions. And in all those three particular conditions, I'm going to add two conditions each. I don't know if it makes sense, but I will show you how exactly I'm going to do that. So the first one is going to be like, if the user choice is equals to rock, and one more condition, if computer choice is equals to scissors, then or or over here we're going to type down this and then move to the next one, or if the user's choice is equals to paper, and computer's choice is equals to what clicks down the paper? It's scissor. Sorry, when we win, it's going to be rock over here because we are winning now. So, or this is going to be rock. Then, if we have scissors and the computer has papers, then again we're going to win. So over here, what I'm doing, I'm writing down the ways by which I can win. So it's the ways by which I can win. Sorry. And computer choice is equals to paper. So yeah, then what I have to do, I have to print you win. Else, what do I want to print? Computer wins. Sorry, my bad. It's going to be in double quotes. Simple as that. So this is something that I've done right over here. All right. Now, my bad. I don't have to add colon over here. The colon is supposed to be added here itself. Then, because it's going to throw an error, let's push it over here. All right. Simple as that. It's going to be, shall I push it in one line? But in one line, it's going to, okay. Yeah, in one line, it's not going to throw an error. All right. And then the print statement will come over here, or else it will also throw an error. All right, let me quickly check. If user's choice equals to rock and computer's choice is scissors, then the user win. If the user's choice paper and computer choice is rock, then again user's going to win. User choice scissors, computer choice paper, user is going to win. Else the computer is going to win. Simple as that. Done. The winning conditions are done. Now we're going to ask, do you want to play again? Yes or not? So what we are doing, we have created another variable which states play again and take an input in which we are asking, do you want to play again? Yes or no? And it's going to be in lowercase. Now, this will help us to keep this in a forever loop. So if play again, oh, my bad. If play again is, sorry, is not equals to yes. If it is not equals to yes, this is not equals to sign. Okay, this exclamation and equals to is not equals to. If it is not equals to sign, then I want to print thanks for playing. And then break out of this particular forever loop that I've created. Very simple, very easy, and this is how you create your own rock, paper, scissors game. Sorry, all right, let me start quickly playing it and let's see if it's all good to go. I'm quickly taking a look at the live chat as well. Where is the attendance form? We will share it soon by the end of the session. So enter your choices or pick your choice. I'm going to pick rock. Invalid input. Please enter valid choice. Rock. Your choice is rock. and computer's choice is rock, it's going to be a tie. Do you want to play again? Yes. Okay, if it is saying yes, then why it is making us go out? If play again is not equals to yes, it should ask us to. If play again is not equals to, it's not putting in double quotes or single quotes, double quotes doesn't matter. First thing first, there is one thing that I need to check out, and that is if I'm entering rock, which is already in lowercase, it's not showing valid input. If users is not in choices, ROCK and ROCK right over here, then it's going to be an invalid input. What if I print the user input here just to check it out what exactly it's taking? All right. So whenever you see your code throwing errors, do not worry. Just check it around, play around those values, play around the code and see what exactly is throwing error. If I type rock, your choice is rock, computer choice is winners. Now it's working fine. I think there was a bug. All right, I'll quickly run it again. All right, let's say paper this time. Your choice is paper, computer's choice is scissors, computer wins. Perfect. Let's say if I say yes. All right, yeah, it's working perfectly fine. I think there was a bug there. All right, it glitched for a second. It's going to ask me again, rock, invalid input. Choose or pick it again, rock. All right, I do not have to press space. Space is giving me extra space and space can't be lowered. That is why it's throwing error. Okay, no space there. Kindly give no space whenever you're playing it around. Okay, so yeah, giving space is throwing error. Not giving space is not going to throw any errors. So yeah, that's it. You don't have to give space. If you want, you can also decrease the space by stripping, by using the strip function. So you can use that as well because it's going to be stored as a string. This user value is going to be stored as string. So if you want, you can also use the strip function to strip down extra spaces. So it's going to work perfectly fine. So yeah, that was your rock, paper, scissors game. You can quickly save it up. Rock, paper, scissors game. Let's save it. And let's move to the next activity. All right. Open new Python editor and go back to the presentations. Now, this is something which is my favorite, which is AI Doodle Pad. And I'm telling you, kids love this. They love this. It's very easy. It's very simple. We are just using two extensions, using turning on our video, using our hand, detecting our index finger's top position, which is right over here, and then drawing on screen. That is what we are going to do, which is AI Doodle Pad. Okay, let's hop on to, but with before that, I'm again going to quickly take a look at the chat box. You typed a trailing space. Exactly. I need a strip string. If you need to remove the space, you need to strip down it. All right, next activity, I think we are good to go. Let's start it up. So for this activity, tell me which sprite is more appropriate to use. Is it your Toby sprite or is it your pencil sprite? Which one you think is a perfect fit for this particular activity? Pencil sprite. Exactly. The reason is this that it perfectly aligns with our activity. First thing first, which is a very common sense. Second, we don't know which of the middle point or the starting point or whichever point my Toby will be choosing to be on top of my index finger. Whereas I know the starting point of my pencil sprite is going to be the nib. It's going to focus on the tip of the pen and then start drawing on the screen. So that is why we're going to delete our Toby sprite, get the pencil sprite. You can resize it, make it to 50 because we don't want it too big. Now, we are going to quickly start with this by adding in or calling in two particular libraries or particular extensions. One is going to be your hand or your pose detection one, and the other one is going to be your pen extension. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have two variables. One is for hand, in which I'm going to get the pose net, and the other one is going to be pen, in which I'm going to get the pen extension. Very simple, get very easy. Again, I am calling them at the top just to be a little more sure. Okay, the P will be capital here. Now, after calling in those two particular extensions, let's dry run. What exactly do I want to do? First thing first, I want to turn on the video on the stage. After that, there is one particular thing that I also need to do. That is, I want to set a color and set the pen size. These two things that I have to do so that my drawing is very good and very nice. It's very much visible on the screen. So these are the two things that I will be doing. Okay, we'll go step by step. So the first thing that I want to do is pen dot set size, and the size is basically something that you need to set it up. It can be 2 or it can be 5. It's up to you how thick or how thin you want to draw it out. Then the next one is going to be setting up its color. So you set up the color in form of RGB values. So what you can do is go to Google and set up choose the color, and you'll be like, what's the RGB values of red color, and just set it up. So pen dot set color, RGB values, let's say 0, 250 and 0, or let's say 250 for this one as well. So this is going to set the values for my pen size as well as for my pen's color. After this, I will be again analyzing image from camera. So it's going to analyze image from camera. It's going to check if hand is detected or not, because we don't want it to draw when hand is not detected. We only want it to draw when hand is detected on camera. So if I'm not showing my hand, it's not going to do anything. As soon as I show my hand, it's going to start drawing from there itself. So this is something that you need to understand. So therefore, we are going to add two conditions. One is if hand is detected, if yes, then the other condition. If pen is down or if the space key is pressed, then pen will be down and then start drawing. If the space key is not pressed, then the pen will be up. Simple as that. And then if the pen is down, I want my this particular pencil sprite to go on the tip of my index finger. That means the X and Y position will be set to the X and Y position of my index finger right over here. Very simple, very easy. Let's do that. But one of my quick questions to you all. If I am setting up these many conditions, shall I add them in a forever loop? Just say yes or no in the chat box. Shall I add them in the forever loop? Do we need the forever loop over here? Hands down, this is cool. Indeed, Miss Nikita, hands down, this is cool. But in this activity, you need hands up. So you will be needing hands up in this one. But yes, hands down, it's cool. Miss Nikita says, no, you do not need a forever loop. SH says yes. Mr. Dave says yes. August says yes. Rest of the people are saying, no, yes, no, yes, no. If using OpenCV, yes. Okay. So, Miss Nikita, do let us know what's the way to do it if you are saying no. But Yes, we will be needing a while true loop, which is going to be a forever loop. The reason being, I want to keep on drawing. I want it to keep on checking if I'm pressing the space key, if my hand is detected. So therefore, I will be needing a while true loop. All right. I got one question, which is how you take color values. It's in RGB form. RGB is basically red, green, and blue values. So it's RGB, and you have to get those values. So it starts from 0 and goes to 250. So any color which is red, you have to put the red value over here. It can be 110, it can be 10, it can be 11, it can be 0. Then the green color value, I have put it up to max. The blue color value, I have to put it up to max, which is this. If you want, you can decrease it up, increase it up, it's up to you. But you have to make sure the value is in between 0 to 250. All right. In the while true, as I talked about, we need to add two conditions. But before that, we need to analyze the hand. So for this, we are using analyze camera, in which, sorry, not camera, analyze hand function. So this is going to help us analyze, so analyze hand. After this, we are setting up the two conditions. Number one is the hand detected? If hand dot is hand detected, then what do we want to do? We want to check if the key is pressed or not. So if sprite dot is key pressed and which key is pressed, space key is pressed. If the space key is pressed, what do we want to do? Pen dot down. Then what do we want to do? Set the X and Y position of my pen sprite to the X and Y position of my index finger over here. Now, Vivek, how do we get those values? How exactly are you going to get those values over here? I'll quickly show it to you. I will quickly show you one of the most amazing page, which is going to help you out to create your activities. I'll quickly open the page up. Vivek, please drop the attendance link. I will be dropping it down once you're done with the session. Thank you so much, Ms. Pragya. All right, here it is. This is PictoBlox extension and libraries page. This is where you will see all of the extensions, all of the libraries there, which is there on the PictoBlox. If we are using the hand pose one, so I'm quickly going to open that. So it has all of the extensions that, as you can see. Let's quickly go to AI. Face human body detection. And then we're going to go over here. Read more. Hand detection. Here's the value. All right. So keep note onto this particular thing over here, this particular diagram or this particular image. I'm going to go back to my PictoBlox code and show you how to code it according to it. Now, after pen down, as I mentioned, I want the pencil sprite to go to the X and Y position of my index finger. So what I will do, I'll just write sprite where I'm going to type down sprite dot set X to getting the hands position and set Y by getting the hands position. Sprite dot set X, in which I'm writing hand dot get hand position. It will be get hand position. So here 1 is for X and 2 is for Y. You need to know. So if I copy paste this, I'll show it to you once again. Copy, paste it over here, set Y, and here 2. So this 1 is for X position of the hand, and this 2 is for Y position of the hand. Now we need to tell this second parameter. The second parameter will be your index finger. Now here we will be typing 8. So let me quickly come back to the image that I was showing. What is over here is written 8. So we have to get the X and Y position of 8. Now does it make sense? Now can you see it coming together? I'll quickly share my PictoBlox screen once again. So here we will be typing 8 and 8. So what we are doing? We are first of all getting the hand position of which value? X8, which is X of my top of my index finger, and Y8, which is Y of my top of my index finger. Exactly. Very simple. And what we are doing? We are setting it up in the sprite X and Y position using sprite.set X and sprite.set Y over here. Very simple, very easy. After this, what do we want to do? Else, in the else part, if the space key is not pressed, we want the pen to be up. Pen dot up. Very simple, yet very easy. Now, just one quick question, which is going to become, which I'm throwing out very randomly. The question is, whenever I will be turning on my camera again, or whenever I will be rerunning this activity, how will I be able to remove whatever is there on the stage already? Ms. Shrivani, what exactly is your question? I participated in your channel previously. I saw you give participation certificate. We will be giving participation certificate, Ms. Shrivani, but you need to be there in all of these sessions. You need to fill out, you need to complete the entire course. There are few criteria you need to be going through, then only you will be getting the participation certificate. Yes, Ms. Inas, Ms. Pola, Ms. Akshata, Mr. Uma Shankar, everybody, you are clear. Yes, everybody, you said it right. The function is clear. We will be using the clear function to clear the entire drawing. Now I will be doing that here before moving into the forever loop. Sorry, it will be clear. There you go. This is your entire code. Very simple, very easy. You can change up the values if you want to. I'll turn off my camera here. I'll stop sharing just for a moment so that I can quickly set up my camera once again. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Here I am, and this is my hand right over here. And then I'll quickly click on run. Now it's running. Oh, just a second. Yeah. All right, I haven't signed in. Let me quickly do that. I quickly sign in. By the time you can drop down your questions. All right, I think now we're good to go. All right. Turn off my camera here and then press on run. As I'm using external camera, it's going to take some moment to detect it up. And it has detected my other camera. All right. So you can see my hand is getting detected right over here. All right. Now, anytime when I press the space key, look at the pencil sprite moving towards the top of my index finger. Oh, okay. There is some error. All right. The S is capital. My bad. Because the key's name is written as not capital here in PictoBlox. It's going to take some time to detect my hand. And once it does, and I click on the space bar, it will start drawing. All right. And let's say if I want to stop, I can stop that as well. So what you can also do for this particular activity, you can create 2, 3 particular small little buttons. So you can go over here, you can go type buttons, sorry, use these as clearing the stage. So if you click on it, it will clear the stage. You can do that as well. So if you want pen equals to pen, pen dot, sorry, sprite dot, sprite dot is touching, rather than is touching, you can use if sprite is pressed or clicked. Sprite dot, where exactly that was? Is touching or pressed, or we can use point to, direction, set size. I am not able to recall that particular one. Mm, mm, mm. Is touching. Let's do that only. Is touching. Then we want pen dot clear. Simple. Same way, you can create more such buttons. You can add like if it is touching this one, then pen up, or if it is touching this one, then pen down. So yeah, just to make it more interactive. That's it. So same way, you can create more such applications or more such real world programs and then save it up to share it in the chat box, or sorry, in the WhatsApp or Telegram groups. AI Doodle Pad and click on save. I already have it, so let's go for one. Done. All right. So this is how you create your own AI Doodle Pad. Let's go back. Now, that was particularly it for this particular session. I hope you all enjoyed. There's just one more thing that I wanted to mention, and that is sharing your creation. We really do appreciate you all sharing your creations on WhatsApp group, posting your videos on YouTube, editing them. And I have to say, there is a quick shout out to some of the teachers. Mr. Nitish Kumar, if he's here, if he's there in the chat box, so you create such an amazing projects. The way that you explain with your video open in the side and everything, and then the way that you interactively put that smile on your face while you're explaining everything, it's amazing. So I request all of you to keep on doing that and keep on sharing your content, but also make sure to tag STEMpedia or me. And I will be more than happy to make sure that we are reposting and celebrating your post and celebrating your innovative creations. Now, here's your QR code to scan for the attendance form for today's session. And I'm also sharing the link in the chat box. There you go, Miss Dimple. I have shared it in the chat box for you. And I'm also pinning it down. So make sure that you scan this QR code and mark your attendance, or click on the link in the chat box as well. So there are two options to mark your attendance. And if you have any question you want to ask, you can do right now, or if not, you can also post it in the later in the groups. Please share the WhatsApp group chat link. All right, I'll drop it down right now. No worries. I am dropping down the WhatsApp chat group, Miss Verona. You can quickly join in there. Joining in this session, I hope you liked it. Um, the first session link will be there in the STEMpedia site only. So it will be there on our STEMpedia YouTube channel only. It's showing model load failed. Kindly sign in if you haven't, or register yourself if you haven't, then it will not. Why sometimes PictoBlox laggy? Server issue, it's not server issue, I would say it's RAM. So if you're using Google Chrome and then you're also using PictoBlox, then your computer actually gets it's you are, it's using a lot of memory to run two of these heavy applications, because PictoBlox is heavy application. So you need to run the other access app, execute the other access application that you're running. Thank you so much, Miss Anas. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to drop a like on this session as well. How to convert this code to XEE. So you can directly copy paste this, not the AI Doodle Pad, but if you're using vanilla code, you can directly copy paste it to another IDE as well if you want to. What browser do you suggest? I am using Safari, but you can use any other browser as well. Personally, Google takes a lot of space and memory. It consumes a lot of memory. That is why I do not suggest using that. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to drop a like on this live, and I will be seeing you guys tomorrow, because tomorrow is our last session of this training program. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about what are the criteria to be top performers. So make sure to join in and end this journey together. Thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.